Hello and welcome to the Danny Lowe Show channel. Today we are going to be talking about data collection plans. So to make it easier for you guys, I went ahead and did a already established data collection plan. We're going to start from the left all the way to the right. You can see we have the metric name, we have the description, we have the type of measure or data type that we're trying to do, how we're utilizing it, how we're going to measure it, where it's going to be stored, how and where we're collecting it, who's collecting it, the frequency, the conditions of the information, how it's being displayed, whether it be a dash or on Excel sheet, whatever, fill in the gap, when it's being displayed, the frequency of it, and then who is collecting it. So I'm just going to do one example, and then I'm going to give you guys a little cheat sheet that I think might be useful for you guys. So from the left again, we have number of steps in a given process. So I'm just hypothetically going to use the steps of making a pizza at John's. So we need to go ahead and have a detailed step of each area and reconcile the steps of what is it that we're required to do to create a pizza. You have to note that it might be different for a pepperoni versus, I don't know, like the supreme, but we might have the ingredients in the same area. How are you going to measure it? Well, we're going to count every pepperoni that we're putting in there, or how many pizzas we're making, so we have a good understanding. But in this case, you're actually counting the number of steps that it takes you to create a pizza. That's why sometimes when you're getting a pizza that has a lot of ingredients, it might cost more money, not so much because more ingredients cost more, but it might have more labor. Who knows? How are we using it? So in this specific scenario, we're interested in identifying, we have two things in here, either value added time or non-value added time. So this is what this is, to determine and highlight the non-value work. So in those steps, what are things that we for sure need to do in order to make sure that the pizza is made versus not doing? A lot of it might be just waiting for an order to come in. That is non-value added. How are we measuring? Well, for this, every time the system puts in a new pizza, it's going to be automatically be counted. Where are we storing it? We don't know that. I put TBT because it might be stored physically, or it might be stored in a database that we might have. Let's assume that it's a report that every time a pizza comes in, we're going to export an Excel sheet of the report. But in order to do that, one of the managers needs to go ahead and do it. And so that's what we're writing in here, right? Where is it going to be collected? What's a CAN report, right? So we have to go into that system and pull it. Well, who's doing it? Well, the manager, like I said earlier. Well, how much do we need to do it? In this case, because it's food, we want to do it daily, so we have a forecast moving forward. How much is it that we need to prepare for ingredients, keeping inventory? There's the processing center, because it is Domino's as our example. We might have a lot of different areas that might require the same thing, and we might need to order from in a specific area. How is this being displayed? Again, it is that CAN report. It's going to be an Excel sheet. Who are we sending the frequency of, just for making it easy? So every day we're pulling the report, but we're actually condensing it per month. And then who's doing this? The manager. The manager will have the authority of that. So that is essentially the data collection plan as you're working through anything that you're doing. What I think might be useful for you guys is, I put it right here on the right-hand corner. There's different types of data that we measure, and there's data that it's like different to measure as a whole. I don't know why my screen is doing that, but yeah, there you go. So you're either going to have continuous or discrete data. So you can click on the link and I can send this material over to you, but this is an idea so you guys get a better understanding. Temperature that we might be interested in measuring, different groups if we're doing a survey or whatnot. Quite honestly, like the time of day might be something that we might be interested. I know that we went over steps, but that might be, or how fast, maybe one employee is faster than another one. These are things that we would be interested in measuring, and here are different areas and how we can actually put them in order to see how long it's going to be doing. So if we're going to be doing this daily, monthly and hence yearly, we would be interested in knowing what that term would be. So this really kind of helps you put everything together from one measure to moving forward with the rest. Data collection is a lot of fun, but it might also be hard because it's very hard to get data as a whole. So this, I hope, helps you kind of just get a good understanding of what's out there, some examples, and hope you enjoyed the show. And if you have any questions or anything like that, free to email me, and just click down here and you should have access to this. Have a wonderful day. Bye, y'all.